What's up, Salt Strong Nation? Joe Simons, like Diamonds, back again talking about what I believe the biggest release we've ever done for smart fishing spots. And it's about land-based fishing spots, something that has been requested a lot. It's actually probably one of the most requested things that we've had over the past few months. And what's interesting, from the feedback I've seen, it's a lot of you that actually own maybe a boat or a kayak, but maybe just on vacation or out and about or after work and just want to know some areas that you can fish. And so we've been spending a lot of time building something here behind the scenes. Before I share it with you on this very first iteration of these public land spots, and also really cool stuff with private land as well. I'll share that in a second. Let me show you, if you haven't seen it yet, we have updated the lookout. So the lookout. We've updated the look of the Smart Fishing Spots app. So what you're seeing here behind me is, the desktop version. If you look on your new app, make sure you have the latest version. You'll now see some buttons down below, and we've essentially changed the UX of it. It is so much easier to find everything. Everything is it looks fresher and cleaner. So definitely go check that out. If you haven't updated your app in a while, make sure to do that so you have the latest and greatest. And we've also, we had one gentleman in particular. He was like, "Hey, I'm here in South Georgia, and I'm not seeing any spots." And it turns out he had an old version. There's a tons of spots in South Georgia. And so we got him to update. He's like, "Oh, holy smokes, I didn't even know all this was here." So I tell you that to make sure that you're updating your app. Some phones automatically do it, but most do not. We have to go to the App Store and make sure you are updating that, regardless if you're on the iPhone or the Android. So let me show you real quick this public access. And before I kick it off, some of you maybe have apps that will show you who owns every piece of property. I know even like Onyx, for those of you who hunt, has something feature where it shows public lands and private lands. I even have an app called Land Glide that I pay $100 a year for that will show you can click on any property in America, and it'll show you who owns it. So you can see the acreage, you can see who owns it, when they bought it, etc. So I just picked, a random parcel of property there, and it tells me this Jose, I won't say his name, owns it. Shows me how much the market value is, how many acres. I mean, it's really cool. You can do it anywhere in America and see every single piece of property. So what Onyx did that was interesting is, this is for hunting, especially out in the in kind of the middle of the country where there's just a ton of land, and in states like Nebraska and Montana, Wyoming. And they started highlighting areas that were public, meaning you were allowed to go hunt there. And so we've been working on something similar, but for anglers, where it's going to highlight any and all public land that touches water. So I'm just going to give you an example here. It's not updated in the app just yet. So if you're looking for it, today is when this gets released. It's not going to be in there yet, but it's going to be very, very soon. So I wanted to tease this. But you can see this massive piece of property here and this one right here, these ones highlighted on the water, these are public properties. And we've been looking even around areas that we've fished for a long time, and there's some public properties there, meaning state or government owned, that you're legally allowed to even go walk on and fish, meaning for wade fishing or even launching a kayak in many places. It's been really, really eye-opening. I mean, some of these that were not advertised, if you will, to be public. Now, for causeways and bridges, I think most of us know that those are public. Here in Florida, they're owned by the DOT, and same with many other states. You're allowed to go fish most of those areas unless they're for some reason closed off for fishing. But there are countless publicly owned properties, meaning state and government, city, county, munis, etc., that you are allowed to go fish. You're legally allowed to go across that property and fish in and around it. Now, there's some that you can't, if you're here in Tampa area, MacDill Air Force Base, obviously there are some that you're just not allowed to for obvious reasons when you're talking about Air Force bases, but many of these other ones you are. I think this is going to open up so many opportunities. And imagine being in a new area. Maybe you're on vacation and you're not familiar with the area at all, and well, man, there's there's no homes on this property, but I don't know if I'm allowed to walk across it or not to go fish it. And you just pull up this app, hit the public land feature, and boom, it's going to show you if that property is fishable or not, basically, if it's public. And we'll also have all the private information as well. So like this is an example. So you can see we're clicking on this right here on this piece of property. It's a real small little piece there, but right off one of these main strips, and you click it, it tells you who owns it, right? This is in St. Johns County. You can see how many acres, and so we're gonna have a lot of the data on there, and we'll even have notes that you guys will be able to update as you're on some of these properties to say, hey, like, yeah, easy access for a kayak, or great place for wade fishing, etc. So I am so pumped for you guys to see this. Like I said, we've been blown away just playing around with this. And this is way up in the St. Johns River. I mean, there's tons of places in Texas and, all over the Gulf Coast. And we've been even going up, into North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia. Same deal. Now there's going to be some areas that are, just swampy or whatever and going to be really, really tough. And we'll have to, over time get all those notes in there. But there's so many new opportunities here with this. And like for me, I pay $100 for that Land Glide app. I'm going to get to delete that now and save me $100 a year not having that. So any of you guys who use apps like Landglide or the Onyx or whatever for just seeing who owns properties, regardless if you're in real estate or just curious or whatever you're using it for, you're now going to have all of that as well. So on top of highlighting all of the public access places or publicly owned properties on the water, we'll have it for every single parcel as well. I think we're going to do it from Texas up, in obviously through Florida, up past the Carolinas to start, and we'll eventually, get it, countrywide for every single parcel out there. And so this should save you a lot of time. And if you haven't had an app like that, now you're going to have it at your fingertips all completely for free. Once again, just that one feature, not to mention all the other things that Smart Fishing Spots does, but just the one feature of seeing property, that's $100 a year on most apps that do this. So get ready to save some money. Just wanted to share this with you. We've been kind of holding it back forever. I mean, we started working on this, back in 2023, and it is finally just weeks away from launching. And so you guys are going to have this in your app here pretty soon. We will obviously make a big announcement. We'll shoot an email out, but I wanted to just kind of tease it so you knew what to expect. And this is kind of what it will look like. This was one of the first demos we did internally, where you can click on any parcel there, and it's going to highlight, once again, the ones that are public, and you get to see exactly who owns it. And we'll eventually have it where you can put notes in, and maybe even take pictures as well. We're talking about having where, let's just say you're on that piece of property, you can take a picture and tag it to that spot so that other people can see it. So, and vice versa, right? You might be in a spot where you're on vacation, like, yeah, I don't really want to drive all the way over there, and someone's already taken a picture so you can see exactly what it looks like. So it's going to be super, super helpful. And eventually, we'll start having actual smart spots around these public spots, but we got to start somewhere. And this was a way that we could really kind of scale this and just give you guys a ton of new areas to check out that are publicly owned. And I believe that you're going to be as shocked as I am when you see some of these, maybe even around your home fishing area, your home grounds. And you say, wait, I had no idea that was public property there. So can't wait for you guys to see it. If you have any other questions or any thoughts, anything else you want us to add, let us know. And you could shoot us any sort of feedback at saltstrong.com is the email that'll go to all of us, feedback@saltstrong.com. So once again, Smart Fishing Spots, that is the app. It's the software, so it'll be on both desktop and on the actual app, version for your phone. And that's, one of those just gifts that keeps on giving. And our goal is to have something new every 30 days. So this will be kind of the big February rollout, and that every 30 days we have something new that will be coming into to Smart Fishing Spots. So hope you guys are as pumped as I am about this. It's really, really going to be a game changer for any land-based anglers and anyone just on vacation who wants to, be able to know where you can fish legally. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. If you're not a member, go to saltstrong.com and join us today.